Welcome back to the Premier League show. Jimmy, I just want to get straight to it in terms of Spurs, because they were thumped at the weekend, weren't they, in the North London derby, which is always horrible because it's the bragging rights, so that's added pressure as well. They are 16th in the table at the moment. How concerned should Spurs fans be, or will they be?
They should be concerned. They should be very concerned. I didn't like how they were. I didn't like how they went about it. I didn't like the formation. There was no outlet going forward. I didn't like that Van de Ven, who is your best centre half, was that much against Saka 1v1. He did all right, but he shouldn't have been. He should be in the middle more. There was no outlet, as I said. When they won the ball, they couldn't go forward really. They only had one shot. I know you're playing against the best team in the league, but if you want to win or you want to draw against them, you need to be able, in certain parts of the game, put them on the back foot, and being able to play the game in their defensive third. And it never happened. It never ever happened. They went at times 1v1. Why would you go against Arsenal 1v1? With all due respect, Spurs is not good enough to go 1v1. Don't do that.
Do you think it was there, you know, and I say this because he'd only been there a week, but was it quite experimental for him? Because it was kind of like he probably knew against top of the table Arsenal, and judging by what had happened before, they weren't going to win this game.
Well, if that is the case, you don't have time to experiment. You don't have time to experiment. You need to get confidence. If you are thinking, okay, we're going to lose this game, what I find bizarre, but if you're thinking, okay, this game is going to be very difficult to win, you need to get some kind of confidence out of it needs to be a close game, so that you can use that for the next game. What
would you have done then? What would you do?
I would. The setup for me would have been different. I would not have played a three at the back. I think when you play against Arsenal, you need to be able to keep a lot of them behind the ball.
Okay.
And what happened is everybody of Spurs was defending. So that means the moment Arsenal loses the ball, they have got no pass forward.
Yeah.
There is nobody there. So how are they going to get out? So you need to be trying to play the game in their half. So when the goalkeeper is kicking, or it's a goal kick, you need to be pressing there in their half and not let them out. And play 2v1 against Gorkayas. So you have cover. And then if Raya is going long, you need to play a second ball game and win and be a little bit more physical. Yes, Arsenal, big boys, they're all physical, but you need to maybe make it a little bit dirty, a little bit, more free kicks away from your goal. And that never happened. The 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, I think the fullbacks are always going to be free. The shuffling is a lot. It was really hard for them players, and you could see that at the end. It was just goal after goal, So I didn't like the setup. I did not like the setup.
This is his formation, isn't it? That's what he goes with, three at the back. So are you concerned going forward then that this is it?
Yeah, well, I don't think that is a winning formula. We've seen it with Man United.
We have seen it well with
we have
Ruben
seen
Amorim.
it well with Man United.
Yeah.
It's a difficult formula with in the Premier League. Now, Crystal Palace has done well in that setup, very well.
Yeah.
But they can majority of the game wait because they are Crystal Palace. They can have people behind the ball and counter attack. You expect Spurs to dominate in 60-70% of the games because of the club that it is.
Right.
You know, so for them to have a really strong hand in the game, I think it's difficult in that formation.
Okay.
You know, so that's my opinion. You know?
That's exactly what we want you. That's why we paid you.
And
Come on.
they have got attacking players. They've got attacking players out there.
Do you think they've got the squad then for the next 11 games ahead and to get them out of this sticky situation of hovering above the relegation zone?
I think they should have enough to win three matches and draw 2. I think they have enough for that. But they have to stick together and they have to be together and they have to really, stick together and be a team.
Okay. All right. Dave is going to take a little deeper look at Tottenham in a moment. But first, Jamie O'Hara gave a pretty damning assessment of the Tottenham squad earlier. Have a listen to this.
I know there's injuries, but the attitude of the players is my biggest concern, Tom. That is where my massive concern with Tottenham is the attitude to defend, to run, to compete, to not concede goals. That, for me, is basic 101. And then you can talk about creativity, whether we're good enough, whether we've got the players, the formation. But the basic defending, basic mentality of a football club, when you're down at the bottom, when you're fighting for results, Spurs ain't got it. They have not got the stomach for a fight. And it was evident in that Arsenal game. And it was actually embarrassing, Tom. It was embarrassing to even watch. And I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Welcome back to the Premier League show. It's been a great run so far. Now, this season's title race is well and truly on, isn't it? With 5 points separating the leaders Arsenal and second place Manchester City, who crucially do have that game in hand. Now, remember, the two sides meet at the Etihad on April the 18th. So I'm guessing the first question is, Jimmy, did that convincing win over Spurs convince you that Arsenal are going to get over the line this time?
No, not really.
Oh, goodness me.
I do think that they're favourite and I do think that they're going to win it. They've got the strongest squad. But I always saw them winning against Spurs, really.
Even with the pressure that Manchester City was
even with the pressure.
Okay.
Even with the pressure. I never thought that Spurs would even get a draw. I thought that, especially after the Wolves game, that they had got a point to prove. And when Arsenal have got a point to prove, they majority deliver. When I saw SA on the team sheet, I thought, yeah, they're going for it. And I like that when they are like that, and they are really hard to beat. So in a way, I wasn't convinced about how they won the game. I always felt that they would go out there and do a job on Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, we see City, do this, don't we? We see them galloping through sort of January, February. They didn't quite gallop, they sort of trotted, I think, perhaps, if we want to use the analogy. And now they seem to be, putting the afterburners on it. But is this a vintage